My Dysfunctional CIA Family, Part 49. So I've recorded a couple of videos, recorded, but I didn't put it up. And so I've and it's hard to remember what I said or didn't say, and this is these need to be like a train of thought, so I'm gonna not do that again. If I make it, and I'm not quite sure if I want to put it up, I'll put it up anyway, because I think it disturbs and it's probably better this way, so I'm gonna just talk and try to think as I go and give an update on what I've been thinking about, because it's hard to remember if I've said it. Once I've said it, it's like I've told someone. Like usually I just put my videos up, so it's like kind of that in my mind, and in a sentence I don't keep exact track. Okay, so I looked up puberty blockers. Man, Wikipedia is like a freak with it. The whole internet, it's all the same thing. It's like there's no history of it. Look at the Wikipedia article, how there's no history. They're like everything started in the 80s and they tried it on this thing and that. And it causes the thing, and not like the history of the drug development. So you can find that it's like 78 or 77. They announced they found that whatever channel, like in the brain, this thing, what thing has to go to stimulate the pituitary gland or something like that. Then tell that, what do they call it? The dingly thing. Send the dingly things down. The follicle. Something, because it sounded like hair follicle or something. Down to the testes or the ovaries to get them going. But the thing is, they would have had that already and blocking it. And then so when I'm talking about it getting done, 76. I guess I would have to be 76. 77. Let me see. October 76. Yeah, when I turn 12. It'd have to get going through 77. Get started up. And I kind of think it might be, even though that's the crazy thing, but, and you kind of add it up. See, Dr. Mengele, like, why is he out? Why is it him? That's why I was saying in one of my other videos. You got everyone, it's all like, you have to play the violin to live, right? No, it's not. It's the doctors and scientists. So they transplant that all over the world. That's why Beth Israel's like it is. Boston University. They've got that thing. I can feel it. I think. I remember going through a corridor at Harvard Medical School. So I used to just hang around there. I used to just practically live there for a little while. Man, one time, I'm at Harvard Medical School on Longwood. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? It got to me. Started, my counterintelligence willpower. So I drank a beer, and I was in there. Because I could be standing around, I could drink a beer, go back here. So I just fucking took a leak right next to the stairs. Most likely no one's going to come by. It's that back corner. If you're facing the back left corner of the stairs, it goes up through and then down to I guess you'd be heading toward the Science Museum or the back way. But it's like, and then these Harvard police finally come after I'm all done and everything, and they're all nice, and they say, oh, you had to move wrong, and they're all like, God, man, like if I'm the prince, like a king of all of England, prince or something, misplaced, had to go put me somewhere else. Not that you wouldn't be welcome back. Delaney was lingering like that's, and I was driven to do that. I was always embarrassed thinking about it. Like, oh my God, you're supposed to drink because you right? But it's like, I was driven, man. Oh damn, one time my bicycle got stolen and then lock cut and then put back at the Harvard police. That is so funny, isn't it? So they had it because someone's messing with it. Isn't that funny? My bike or my wife's bike. But she used to work there a long time. And there's different. It's both sides are there. It's like that's the thing. All right, so yeah, that would be Professor Dr. Zimmerman of the psychology department. So they sent me there, getting all this testing done. And then later I'm supposed to go to counseling. And it fucking makes sense with the shit. With the stuff I put in. Those other drug things. Okay, so damn, might not have, okay, this might be on one of the videos I didn't put up. Yeah, it is. Okay, so when I was up in Minneapolis, we our school took a field trip, like to Jamaica for 10 days. Something like that. Or like maybe it was like a week total, so something. Because we have to drive on the bus up and down from Minneapolis down to Florida to get an airplane. So we stayed at the Abahiti Hotel, Kingston 1, Kingston, Jamaica. And that was the thing. That was part of their thing, too. It wasn't like, oh my God, we don't know anyone. Okay, so I'm fine. I'm not sick or anything. The airport, because I would remember, because we landed, and I remember this old guy was banging a drain pipe or something and making the ants move. Even that's probably got to be theatrical for us, or even for me, because I like ants, and it's such a cool, it's so quaint, right, at the airport. And God, it goes way back, probably. You know, that kind of thing, right? So I was fine. It was like, I was excited. We're there. I wasn't sick. Yet when we arrived at the hotel, my next memory, you know, we all arrive at the hotel and I get shown where my room is. And I was sick. I was sick as hell. There's something wrong with me. So it must have been on the car ride or something. They drugged me, though. They drugged me with something. So it gives me a sense of vertigo. No throwing up or anything. Weird, just sick feeling. Like I have a fever. Like, you know, when you have a bad fever, how your nerves jangle and it's weird. I'm not sure if I had a fever. I might have had a fever, too. But it went away the next day. So I'm all fucked up. Just fucked up. Feeling. So the kid brings me to my room where I'm going to be. It's like, it's this little room that's off to the side. Like there's like 3 girls that live there that are like 15 or something. Like they're going to be there in that room. And then I have to walk, you know, and that's where the bathroom is. It's room and bathroom. And I'm in this other room that's off to the front. Kind of like a laundry room thing. With some windows up high. Because they're going to put me in there. So I missed all the orientation or whatever. So I was sick as hell. This kid brought me into the room and turned the lights on. It's this fluorescent light and it strobed. It flashed on and off. Like, about like that fast. Or something like that. For about a few seconds. It seemed like forever, but it was a few seconds. Until it turns on. And it fucked me up. I was just swooning around. And he was like, I remember looking at him, he was smiling, he's all happy. It could be one of the black kids there or something, or one of the kids from our thing, and I don't remember. He seemed to be all happy, like I'm all happy. And he knew I was sick, too. And he was supposed to do that. They set that shit up. And they went a little too far with that shit, you know? That whole fucking thing I had, and then those fucking lights. And all that room, all special, just that little scheme. The motherfuckers did that, okay? And that's with drugging, okay? So I don't go back to the fucking shit. And me getting drugged and all the shit, right? And, man, it's because I was like, the next day, barely remember, like, sort of. Then I get up, I don't know, it was 10 in the morning or something, kind of dragging around. But then by the end of the day, I forgot it. It's like nothing the next day. It wasn't like I missed any vacation. Just that first night and kind of, you know, kind of maybe a little bit the next morning or something. It's, so they fucking did that. So those motherfuckers are in it. On the Minneapolis side. And scheming out. So they got their hotel, they got their little, like, thing they're going to do. All right. And so whatever orientation they have. And, another thing. Well, this is more like I have to, See, I was 14, so I guess I had turned 14 in October, so it's the spring of the next year. And, but it seemed like I was 12. And it was like, it could be embarrassing in the way they handled it, in the way, there was something once we had to segregate. And I think it was there, some 14-year-old on up. Oh yeah, they were meeting, and I didn't stay for the meeting because they had to talk to everyone. And the way the teacher was with it, like that embarrassing thing, or there's something, they have more thing behind the scenes, like the issue is what it is, and they lie about it. They act like, oh, they don't know anything about it, and it's something, but there's always the issue, and they fuck around with it. Because I went through my whole life like there isn't anything. It's like a mirage, like no one else is seeing it. I can go look in the mirror and it's one thing, and they're like not seeing it. Except for when it's all the way, like at the locker room and they're fucking doing shit. And so there's something with that teacher, and they had been informed on the issue or something. And there's something. So I think it is that puberty blocker thing. Because my mom got divorced when I had just turned 12. She's like rolling around in the bed saying, all you men are all the same. Like, that's one of her drunk things. Like, she'd rant, and the CIA lady would come by and work her up and say it and feed it to her or whatever the fuck. CIA lady was right on it, I think. Yeah, she was from the beginning, because it was also, because we knew them when all my parents were both still at the house. Diane and Claire, who lives next to the Dairy Queen. Claire. Man, see, I was on the thing. Claire thought, man, it's going to be me and Claire. I'm going to be visiting Dairy Queen as through my teenage years. And she was all fucking, that's cool, man. Let me have to leave on the risk. Oh, man, and it wasn't. Man. So, okay, so Minneapolis, yeah. And as they're fucking around, and maybe they want to keep me away from whatever, that first night of orientation or whatever, whoever does what. And it's funny, they put me with a 15-year-old girl, so everyone else is segregated by their age or something. But I was like prepubescent in a certain way, or, or somewhat like beginning, so it didn't matter. And they had a thing, because they fucking work out a thing. It's not, and they're really cool there too. But it's not just because of that. They have the secret scheme, they have their psychology fucking thing. And so what it would be, I'm just kind of pulling the card out of the air, the imaginary conjecture, so my dad wouldn't know all the way. Or he's supposed to be, it's play a chump, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. So my mom would be doing it, right? The medication. And it's one of those things. And then when I go up to Minneapolis, it would be Patricia. She moved in. Like, it'd be that would be that thing. My mom asked me, what does she look like? One time they said, she looks like you when you're younger. She looks like, just like you, about 20 years younger. They said that. So I went up there, and my dad was like, fucking, maybe it's right before we all moved in together, like, we still have to live at that other place, and he's going to get a place, and then she moves right in, they get the whole plan. But he's kind of like, we went to a movie, oh my God, we went to 2001 A Space Odyssey, or, God, it might have been that one, or it might have been the, it was probably that one, and you guys can see the timing. The later, maybe, because, like, also we saw the, Alien. Right, yeah. And that whole thing was fucking scary. That's such a good movie. So one or the other. Man, they had everything. Garrison Keillor was up there just on local radio. They had the Green Mill Pizza over in St. Paul. Okay, so we're going to some movie or going on something. And my dad had to go outside the car with her and walk around, and they had to kiss, and like they're going to say goodnight for the night. So they're doing teenage shit to him. His little, like, weenie train, I'm a teenager now. Okay, we'll move in together. It's all cool. And she was, like, playing it and working it. It's like that. So they moved her right in. And she was really cool. She was on her best behavior and always drinking tea and doing these things. We have to have the chamomile tea, or teddy bear tea. Teddy bear tea, that's from, talk about, like the teas were out. Like the teas, if you knew, like that's the thing, if you're cool, if you're Santa Fe or something, like you know about all those flavor teas that aren't necessarily tea. They come in the rectangular box and all that. See, we're in on it early. Damn. It would have been too. It would have been. And I think they did it, man. Fuck. And so that'll give it. And we went to a Catholic church, headed a Catholic church. And my dad said not to do the sauce, the wine and the thing. Oh, he's got to be all like that, like Mr. Puritan. I got to be, I mean, not Puritan like that, but like, I wouldn't dare violate because you haven't been sanctified. And they probably would have all been like, what? Fuck it, man. We're Catholics. Like we break rules. Probably, right? Wouldn't it? Like you join the club or like human. Probably was, man. And he's gonna be, no, we gotta sit back in our pew. In our pew, I think. And she'd be like, she had something, she wanted to keep it going. And then be together. Maybe she'd bear children and be the thing. Oh man, it must have been, right? Is that what I came out of a CIA sperm farm. It is, man. Fuck. Then it makes sense, because like all the shit where I got the issues, and no one talks about it, it's like, are they embarrassed? Like, embarrassed? What level? And it doesn't fit all that. I'm not describing it right, but like if it's a scenario where they know and there's something, or there's something going on, no one's supposed to talk about it. Like my dad, just like, whatever, leave it. Better leave it, right? Like that, not because it's like, oh, you'll be okay, or is this okay? It's gonna work out, or don't be embarrassed, or it's not something. Or we might think you're stupid. It's fun to tease you once in a while, or like, it's none of that shit. It was some other thing. That's what was always so fucking weird about it. So it might be. And they would have, see, the way they work it, like at the places. God, I spent so much time at Harvard Medical School and all this stuff, and it's all cool. But the way they work it historically would be, you got your main scientists that are public facing. The public facing institution, they try to do something and write a paper, it's all public. Then you have the illicit research. Maybe they even do a lot of research and it can kind of help them along the way. But especially if there's any human experimentation. And they're doing that like gruesomely. They're cutting someone's fucking head off. It's like, oh shit, man. Right? Didn't they? They fucked around with everything and chopped someone's motherfucking head off. They chopped so many fucking heads off to find this shit, right? Right? And they were doing that all through the 60s and early 70s, all overseas, maybe all up in the whatever places, America, but especially overseas. And you have all the thing, like I said, like it's not just one side, because that's why do you have Argentina? Like you have all the Nazis and all the Jews are there. They go there, they all like, oh, that's where Mengele went. He went to Argentina when it's too expensive to live, and the thing is all, and my God, like when last I heard, it's like, you have America, Soviet Union, Israel, and then Argentina. But that's where all the Nazis go. Because like what I said. And it probably comes around like, oh, we got to get revenge. We're working out his bin work. If it works out, it does a certain way. Or you see it disintegrate, or you see the old guy, or however it works, or what power is, or, and in a certain sense, we're here. All our ancestors back to like common ancestor of a cat and a human what's that, 90 million years ago? Way before the dinosaurs. Something like that, right? Because the carnivores are with the deer and everything. We went with the rabbits and mice off the side. Elephants all that split off from us earlier. But, a lot of suffering. And it's all this shit. Like, we get here from that, but to actually do it would be bad. But then if you're the survivor, or if it'd be something that's not extreme, like someone did sacrificing the bricklayers and all this stuff. But not the gruesome Frankenstein movie made real. They act like, man, nothing was going on. All the Dr. Mengele, all the fucking no experimentation, just sewing people together just to fuck around. It's all a fucking lie. And they even probably did all that shit to fucking fake it out too, and make it seem like that's what that is. And you can go look and get your fill of that, be aghast and awful and how could it be. You get your fill, and then you don't need to look at it anymore. You found out bad, and then what is it? And Jesus. Probably just, towards all through the war, they're just grinding away at it, man. They don't fucking stop. And then after the war, they fucking hire everyone. Come on. There's like a scramble for it. And then you have to go clean house with all the survivors, is what it would be. And then you have to hear that shit from them, like the shit you haven't fucking realized. How we save you. That story or whatever. But yeah, so I think, damn, man. Once it starts, and get busy with that, right? And they fuck up and play around. Because I remember everything when I was a kid. What I remember, I get idiosyncrasies or different moments, and they stay. And it's always been a thing. Counterintelligence, willpower. I've had that since I was 2. Probably my first, like what I classify as a false memory or a hallucination. The cowboy type guy got out of a toy truck. I think it's my actual toy truck, and on the floor, and got up and yelled something across the room and walked off like that. And it's really scary. And the scary thing is because it's like not supposed to be going on. But I've seen that as like a hallucination. But it's like some memory thing that stayed. And to do stuff. And it's supposed to be absurd too. That's one thing I think. I think what can happen is you can miss, there's an absurdity. And if you work stuff out, you might forget that. And it won't be classified. It won't be as easy to find that it's a false memory. You need that absurdity to keep it like that. The hallucination, But, man, that even goes, see, the principal of our school at New School, that was my first year there. So I was in the 6th grade, 76, 77 that year, right? Yeah. Okay, so that was Mr. What's-his-fuck. He taught us science, and he was the principal for just a year. They had to have him in there because it's all their CIA shit at the Carbondale New School. He went on to be a science teacher at Lincoln Junior High School, so it gets you his job for life, whatever like that. Now, he's the one who got me into dissecting rabbits. And Mike Stearns picked apart the rabbit, and he got bitched at. And that's why, because it's supposed to be playing around with it. It's all fake. But he wasn't supposed to Mike Stearns was supposed to pick the eyeball apart or anything like that. And he's supposed to be leading me along as I dissect. And it's fun to dissect, not pick apart, and it's useless. And Mike Stearns is, he used to like to sing, we were in lab, he'd sing, "We are mixing chemicals, chemicals, chemicals. We are mixing chemicals." Oh, one time, there was some explosion thing, and he came out, acting all shocked. Maybe they did that on purpose. He was a good actor, if it's that'd be funny, right? Man, we'd stand down these teachers, he'd be like, "You're going to get busted for common street walking. Hey, look at these fucking Oh man, Miss Rainey and Miss she knows Miss Pedersen now. Those are Rainey's like this, or the other like he'd be like, that's what it is. Not like he's gonna hit him because it's like all the cop stuff, all this shit. He knows how to do it too. That's what that was, or like that will. It's time to get audited, something, but because he had that was all the shit, all the Klan, all the police. Man. So yeah, the principal there, that he said he had polio when he was a kid. Probably got fucked with. So he's a little like limp. It was just slight different issue, but he couldn't walk, he said. One day he couldn't get out of bed. And at first his dad thought he was joking. Okay, so I was gonna say, yeah, so this other hallucination thing I have. Damn, I'll go through them all then. So this would be, yeah, false memory that people would usually call hallucination. Now I know the guy down in Florida, he didn't get any false memories, hallucinations while I was there. I talked to him. They were triggering him, making him do it. Like Bigfoot's flying around in flying saucers and cause lightning. Like all that stuff. And working him. And he gets frustrated because I'm blocking him. But I don't think he just forms on his own all the way. Or they know how to work it. They got their special way. All right. So it was in that year, me and the kids were interested in ESP, and that's all this fake shit. Because that's what's this fuck that went to the Navy. Damn, I know they're all the way on top of it, though. He goes in the Navy, I heard, and he's like, fucking, maybe the other annoying kid that was there. God, that kid was annoying. That first year, they had a drone, the kid that was bored there because he'd go to public school, and he's just there, and then they had it without him. But then the other kid that went to the Navy, he'd be bored at the school because he'd go off to public school. It'll all be like this fucking fun shit, and they give you grades, or you can get taught on the side, and they don't just torture you like it's us. They're just tagged for it. And that's how you can tell these motherfuckers when they come to our school, like to a professor's kid's school, a free school, whatever. Even though his dad's probably a professor or some weird thing, he's got to be. So that was a weird place. They had no television, and he had a room with no windows. It was an old house. It must have been, like, thinking back. Man, it's not a strategic thing. Damn, man. He'd be on the fucking main road. What was that? The main street going toward Murfreesboro, but if you're gonna go. And my other friend that used to have the Oldsmobile, he'd be like going, then take a left turn. He'd wait till all his traffic's coming, just fucking fly right in front of it, so that anyone trailing us wouldn't be able to. He used to have a thing about that. And you're gonna go flying up through these streets, and then goes past that kid's house I was talking about. It's a strategic thing. And all these other weird things there. Okay, training. Okay, so damn, man. Okay, so it's weird. It's like hard to think. It might not be. I'm not sure if it's a false memory though. It's just absurd, but only because it just seems too far fetched that it happened. Like we're always thinking about ESP. So I'm sitting in the back seat, and I think I am. I think he actually had a truck though. Yeah, he had a truck, and we could be in the back of the truck, under this, had a rooftop thing. And Mike Stearns, he'd chew tobacco, and spit tobacco. That's what the thing had to be. The kids, they're the real rednecks, and they spit tobacco. It'd be like W going to college, right? And like one time it went out the window and came back in and hit me, like from the airflow. But But I think it was maybe a different car, too. But anyway, it's like, but anyway, my dad would say that. Well, anyway, whatever. Well, anyway, I'm in the back seat, I think, and the principal's on the front left driving, and the other kids are there, and I keep thinking about how does the steering wheel honk? Because like you see this steering wheel, it doesn't have, it just got, I guess you get it push some shit and you go find it, right? Or maybe the middle. And it used to be this like metal thing that goes around, and they didn't always have like, it would always be self-evident, or that metal thing. And then they it's like later, by the early 80s, they started making it douchey, like it's like an apple, and you have to like go, fucking a phone or something. You have to go find it, go groping for it, and find it. So it wasn't self-evident. So it's like that, with a car that wasn't self-evident with a honking, which is not always common. And I kept thinking, how does it honk? And how that can't work. So I know this didn't really happen though. And then finally, I wouldn't say anything though. And finally, the principal honked the horn. He go, honk. And he said, there, Ken. It's like, that I was humiliated that they could know what I'm thinking. Yes, that's like a dream. Like dream substance made to memory. Not like just one dream, but it's like dream substance. Dreamed or remembered as that way. Like a dream usually you think of as a linear, activity. And it's going on, which it probably is, because that's how you record it in real life, so it might not be. So it's just got a linear track, or it plays sometime. But I think these things might be built up in some other way, so you don't actually dream of the thing. You just have memories that you build of what happened when and whatever, and then your dream will process it later, and with maybe symbols you don't even know, like that. So that's a way you have a false memory. That's called a hallucination. And the thing is, they have psychology. They have their theory. They have Melanie Klein. She'll have her fucking theory, be so good at it in the ways you can't really say. She just intuits it, and then you see and it's like a black box. You don't know how the fuck, but you see she can predict things. Or the people that predict her just worship her, Like Jimi Hendrix loved Bob Dylan, and you have stuff like that. Or Ricky Gervais says, Seinfeld, you gotta look at that. Which I can't deal with it. It's like waiting for a bus. But okay, so he honked it and he goes, there, Ken. I was just humiliated. So it's like a psychosexual thing. And I thought of it at the time. Now I wonder when I even had these memories. God, so I would be like 12. And then he's the one, man. He's the one with the thing, the tularemia. So it'd probably, maybe not at all, goes the other stuff. But he'd still come around with Dr. Smith and everything. But he'd be in the know. But this would be happening after he would have left, and then I have another year at that school. And they would have started me on the thing like that year. In 77, probably. Maybe a little bit earlier, but maybe. Maybe just, no, they would have been doing a little bit of it before. Probably. Then, damn. And that's the thing, they get to jump on everything. Without it, it gets in the published papers finally. And that's some whole other thing. And then kind of figure out how long they got to do it. Okay, because they cut off everyone's fucking head to get that shit. Chief of the monkeys, right? Okay, so, or chimpanzees, I mean. Okay, so there's that one. So the cowboy one was when I was, maybe before I was 2. And so maybe these memories could have come later. But that's when I remember happening. And I had that guy. Then I had one, which kind of is iffy, like my cousin had visited, the one, and I said, "Oh, come on, let's go." It looked like her. She was like looking at me all jealous. That's something they would run though. That might have been they actually did that, and we go into the same fear thing because it's like it's them fucking running some shit. Like my cousin, and then I have a new girlfriend. This one cousin that I never talk about. So that could have really happened though. It might be a false memory. And the other one was, God, man. The other one, so I was looking at the third graders, I guess. I don't think maybe it would be kindergarten. Probably not the first grade, because I went to Winkler School. And went to kindergarten. Oh, shit. Ooh. Okay, here you go. Damn, man. So I had to start a little bit late. So I go to the school. My mom says she takes me here. She's all... I was supposed to go in the first grade because I turned 6 in October, right? Instead, they put me in kindergarten because I'm still 5. You know, and I was way ahead of everything. My mom talks about how she took me there, and it wasn't the right thing, and something somehow, and then they put me in kindergarten, and she's like bitching a little bit. And so, like, with all this shit, I was always, that's another humiliation. I was always a little bit older than the kids, a little bit, because I'm like fucking got put in the kindergarten when I'm a little like fucking savant, okay? They put me in kindergarten anyway. Like, it's no big fucking deal. Instead of the first grade. And then it fits with if they're gonna do that shit with me later, you know? Because I used to think it's so humiliating, but it's a saving grace. So I was like, well, not enough to save me. 1 year grade going down about, or from the extreme. And it's not the mean, but like could be the other way. So I was like 3 years behind. So, Jesus Christ, otherwise it'd be 4-ish or something for a lot. Damn, man, it makes it so I can't ever do any school or anything like that. I'll be behind. Yeah. Damn. They did that shit too. You'll find it too. It's so funny. One thing, if you find one thing, I don't know about lightning shit or anything. It's like, okay, let's look at this other thing. All right. Damn, man, I gotta drink some water or something. Damn. Yeah, some fizz water. I like this stuff. I always get this. Where'd it go? Okay. Yeah, when is that school? What was I saying? Okay. So I guess I was in kindergarten, and I would walk through the school. I could go out a certain way. Like, I could just exit the kindergarten back door, and that would go right to the, that would go right out into the playground, and you could walk home from our kindergarten. And the other door would go to the hall, and you go way down the hall, and you go past the third grade hall, and then you could go out the door. So I'd look down the third grade hall, I remember, and for sometimes I was walking down school. Oh yeah, and you go buy a pencil or something too, into the principal's office. But that early on, I was like, had an issue where I'd walk down that hall and look down the third grade hall, and there would be a black kid Who does he look like? Sort of like Kent Ray Brown. Be Kent Ray Brown. So right? And he'd be like unconscious on the floor. Everyone would be walking over him, but like and acting like he's not there. And I think they actually step on him. The whole hall would just be busy. And it's like a horror from looking down the hall. So I remember seeing that, and that's got to be. Maybe it's a false memory. Maybe they do that shit to me, and I'd have another trauma. Because you get trauma. It's like if they're all doing the shit, they're gonna lay out some shit like that. Right when you look down the hall, and it's funny as hell if you think about it. Man, that'll like put a brand your brain for life. Yeah, so that could be some real shit too. And they'd choreograph a little bit of their choreography. So it could be. Damn, man. I'm Luke Skywalker, and I'm here to rescue you. That's where my Black Lives Matter thing started too. Damn, man. But I thought it had all this meaning too. So I think I came up with it. I don't think they were doing that. I think I was already like that. Like John Brown. I could see some shit going on. Okay, so I wanted to tell my parents about it. But then when I tried to tell them, so this has got to be more false memory, I started telling them. And then I started telling them about that, and it just flows right into where I'm telling a story, which is like the dream flows of the symbolism of like I had a toy gun, but then it could shoot through the earth and go through the earth and pass through, hundreds of yards of earth, and go through hills or something and do something, and that would be something. So I was telling both of my parents. I was trying to, in their bed, in the bedroom. And that's, maybe it's, did I dream that too? Like that's probably just part of the dream when I'm thinking I'm telling them that. Is like I'm that. And that would be like back in Iowa City when I'm just 4. And my dad made me a toy gun out of a piece of pipe, a little PV, it wouldn't be PVC back then. It'd be some little pipe, maybe some little plastic pipe or something like that with a handle. It all looked cool and stuff with the thing, and it's got the barrel, and you could put a piece of wood in there, and it fit just right. And you could blow it, like with your mouth, and it would go out. Because they were against guns, and my parents always were, and so I wanted to get a toy gun. And the story goes like I stole the neighbor kid's toy gun. That guy was cool. That was part of the thing. That was like, see, I was supposed to be part of that. That's like, oh fuck, man. You know what that's like? It's like Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Oh, fucking man. That's that shit, whatever the fuck they call it. Or Tom Sawyer, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Like I was that. In that zone in Iowa City. He was. Man, I came back to visit like 6 months later. He said, Ken's here. It's like ran around the neighborhood. Like it's the greatest thing ever. Fuck. I never ever had a friend after that. Like that. It's not like that, or certain relationships, so certain things. Damn, man. And one time I was some neighbor lady had to come and yell at me because I threw a wooden spoon, one of those like stirring spoons that have no weight to them, and it had flown through the air and twisted and hit this kid on the back as he's running away. So he had to just cry because it's like the insult, and he could tell his mom. It just feels like it's something. It doesn't hurt. It's just a thing. And then she had to come and bitch at me, and I started crying. And then she picked me up, and somehow my mom wasn't there, and we were in the kitchen, in our kitchen, and she picked me up and hugged me, and I had to cry. That's one of those things. That's like Mrs. Robinson. God, and the twins, they wouldn't let out of their yard. We don't get to leave the yard. We're the twins. Oh, God, the creepy twins. Oh, my God, it was so much like the Overlook. Oh, man, so you go down to their yard for them to play with him. Oh, man. That shit was all fucking set up, man. Kids playing in my sandbox, older kids. I didn't have enough words. I said, you kids get out of here. I meant the boys have to get the fuck out of here and the girls stay, but I didn't have the words for it. And then they never came back, and I felt really bad. And the guy had held me down and poured sand in my ear once, too. It was a, God, I guess this sandbox made out of a tractor tire, probably. So my ear was like pressed against the side on it. Held down against a tractor tire or something like that. And there were grasshoppers. Okay, so, and that's a psychosexual thing that, when I was going to tell my parents that thing about the kid. Yeah. I remember the napalm girl. The newspaper with the napalm girl. And she was what, like a year older than me? The older woman. They did all this shit on purpose too. They might even burn them. They all that shit's all wrapped up different ways. And they plan it. Someday we'll have the naked girl like something, and that'll be the naked girl on your newspaper, not others. And that'll be that. And we'll do this and that. Life magazine does that. Or you have whatever with all the racist shit. Like popular what was it? Popular New Guinea or whatever the fuck it was. You know what I mean? National Geographic. Man. But yeah, so that's what that would be. So my dad wouldn't be all in the know and all in the thing. My dad's a little like, he's got a certain weakness in a certain thing. However the fuck it works. With the shit, so that device he's making, that electric device. So when a guy comes around the corner of the house, maybe that was then to get that electronic device. Maybe it's a fucking thing too. Maybe it's a thing. Here's the thing that regulates. Here's the big old fucking Jesus Christ. Hitch it up to your whatever. Maybe your yeah. It could have been, man, to talk to submarines. Or to send them one way. Then it would make sense why they're saying, oh my God. Then, because like they're, I got my cousin, he got his little transistor radio set, so they can all talk about it. They got that, he had that, and he couldn't get to work, and I got mine to work. And my dad did all shortwave radio with me before that visit, like all up and down, we're all doing it. And my dad's so proud, so then they can be talking about, we're so proud, and they can talk about radio stuff without having to do super code or whatever. They can still talk about Radio Shack and their stuff. Because that's what that was. You guys know it too. I busted him. Motherfuckers, because I know. God, I was rethinking, but yeah, they're shit. It's like, fuck, man. That probably goes back to the original shit, because that's Maine. That goes to Maine smuggling, and it goes to Britain, and then what do you want to do with the fucking Nazis during the war or after the war? Like, talk to the submarines, do this, that. Bring in the medical slides, whatever. For all the scientific documents, all the shit, or the specimens, whatever the fuck. In the U-boats, right? Oh, we're all worrying about the U-boats, but hey, have a gentle U-boat trip over here, and be, they could all say be in, under the ocean from here to there. And we're not going to do anything. like all the way over. Anything that deviates from that, though, it's like wiped out, right? Like you'd be like that, right? So you come in a straight line, even if they're so they'd be trying maybe to, have a bunch that have more than one, right? And then swing off. But maybe that could be dealt with or something. Doing God knows what. Or maybe, no, they just go to fucking England for that. Or something, right after the war. Whatever the hell. I guess they could be on the high seas. You can't tell if is it Maine or Canada? Who's going to get it if something happens, right? Motherfuckers, man. Because I know this shit. I always hated these motherfuckers. Yeah, so that guy, okay, so the guy coming around the corner, yeah, and maybe it is to get the radio thing, or they're doing something. And then it would be, like, the way the guy was happy, like, he'd have to be malicious, but it's like, unless it's like, oh, my dad had his worst moment, but that's like your frustration, like absolute empathy, right? And the poor guy, my poor dad's struggling with his science stuff, and it's going to come out, or there's certain frustrations, and like he catches the worst moment, but doesn't even mean anything in the long term. It's going to be like that. I think because the way the guy was, man, and they fuck up with that. Because see if they plan it, oh, I'll catch my dad some, right? And then they're going to like spy around, oh, the argument, let's get in, right? Come around the corner, then, oh man, he just threw a plastic cup, new plastic cups. See, they're way lighter than the glass cups, right? You don't really know. There's like society, it's like fucking an innocent society, like in some ways. It really is like, what do you call it? Mad Men. You look at that. When they're picnicking. And then it's so pleasant. At the end, they just toss all the trash. It's so fucking great. And it's like, or the kid runs by with a plastic bag over his head. And they're saying, don't get your shoes dirty, shit. Man, but like the plastic cups are so much lighter, so why can't you just throw them? It's not always, and they're like kind of big, but I guess the edge can hit, and if it doesn't hit on the edge, then it'll be fine. And it just hit on the edge, like directly on the edge, on my forehead or something, so it did bleed. And but like if he's coming around because we're having a fight, and he gets lucky, it wasn't that there was a love there. There was an empathy, I think. And then, that's why I remember this shit. Man, in Minneapolis, they fucking did. That's one of the things I put on these other videos that you needed to get. Because they're fucking busted. That little bit of shit. And then the way they were with me, with my age issue and all my stuff. Whether it's like, oh, the issue, or we talk about it, or we don't talk about it, or something. We see it, we don't see it, we didn't. Like, it, there's a certain way it would be. Like, if it's not talked about it for whatever reason, or didn't think about it, or it's an embarrassing thing in a certain way. But if it's a science experiment, or it's the issue, or it comes with that. Like, it's more like that. If it's the issue or something, it's been talked about. I mean, they can be all innocent, but it's like been the issue. And then, yeah. And then that would account for how I get extreme issues about it too. Like, it could be my own weird neurosis, or like a so-called, like when I didn't start using deodorant, I had to go around school with my arms down. I was like just gonna turn 16 or something, wasn't it? Yeah, like that, or 16 already. Fucking, it's some outrageous thing. The underarm hair starts growing, then that. And I had a thing where at one point, where the nipples got all big. They probably just took me off that shit. Oh, yeah. And they have to do skins. So shirts or skins? Who wants to be skins? Half the teams have to have their shirt on, and the others have to be skins. man. And then I had these booby things that fucking, they all hit just right then. And probably that's when I moved out to my dad's house. Probably took me right off that shit. I wouldn't be surprised, because why would it be slow and all of a sudden zoom, right? And then it's like going around like that. Oh, there's nothing, or I don't want to fucking. I have to do that, and I have to push them and then make them go down, and like fucking, I don't know. And it's like weird, and then, by that time they're like a fucking. They're all like, oh god, man, this is the shit, man. Yeah, that was that. Okay, so what would that be? That'd be the 10th grade, so that'd be shit, man. Because in 9th grade we have a separate school, remember? They took the 9th grade and put that in a separate school. We had out of town. It's across the street from where all the schools are now. And that's something to split up everything. So you come from all the damn suburb feeder schools or whatever, the redneck, and they can all get you settled for a year. Because it all becomes like not cruel, too. Like, they don't use that abuse anymore. Damn, man. Yeah, so that'd be 10th grade, 1980, 81. Yes, 1980. Oh yeah, I turned 16, yeah. So right when I turned 16, and probably like that. And maybe it was as it went on and through the thing. God, man. And then there's one kid that had really bad acne on his back that they have in the gym class. When it was skins time, he ended up taking his shirt and pulling the front up over his head. So it's just this thing stuck on his back so his acne wouldn't show. And it made it so much more ridiculous. Now I'm thinking that was like on purpose. That's like a thing. God, man. So it's that. It's that shit, man. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Yeah, anyway, I didn't use like deodorant. It'd be like weird having to acknowledge because I'm like day late and $1 short. And it would be like, so it was always some hidden other thing. And then I started using baking soda. I read in Mother's News you could do that, so then I do that. It actually works better too. But that was because they're with us thing. They're like, they got their own shit. That's where they're all that weird. It's like the Overlook Hotel. Kind of weird, psycho fucking thing. Because they're doing something and it's a whole fucking thing. Or they know something's being done. Damn, man. And probably some of the shit runs, and then there's alcoholism, and it doesn't really work right. Like Diane, the CIA lady, was like, would drink and got my mom to drink. So there's a certain kind of way they do it. And she's kind of alcoholic, a little bit. Diane. She's like all that functioning like fucking Winston Churchill shit or something. Some shit. And then my mom wouldn't, so my mom might have just disintegrated off and on. It's hard to keep her going, or you have to get the thing going. Damn, man. So that's Minneapolis, and that's where CM Brenton, the ladies of perpetual, Boston Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They did another video. Like, everything was sticking out for you. Hey, I remember I'm sticking up for them when it's like, when they look like Nixon with his 5 o'clock shadow. He'd get it at like fucking 10 in the morning or something. It's like, that's what they look like when they're not in drag. They like walk, and they're depressed or something. Actually, that was on purpose. Why the hell are they in my neighborhood? That's it. That's a Alder James shit. That was fucking. That's a shit, man. That's a Dorothy. That's like Judy Garland's Revenge.